I agree.
All of this rental
Very.
years that people are
Yep.
going to be stressing because eventually it will happen.
Absolutely.
So why can the housing or the housing association in terms of the rent, why can it be between them? Or why can the money can go straight to them and then
Absolutely.
it's not going to affect no older people, no carers, nobody who can't go to the council or touch a computer or have internet in the house. You need to think about
I agree. And that's why the next option, as you can see, is alternative payment arrangement. That is where you ask DWP to give the money directly to your landlord. You're right. The whole presumption that your landlord will get it straight away, it's not what it is. Your landlord, in this case, local authorities and housing associations, have to request it. Then you can do alternative payment arrangement. That's where your rent goes straight to your landlord.
So I don't understand what you mean. It's going after we've been through the paperwork and everything, we still have to request the landlord to get in contact with people from the universal credit. They can get in contact with them and the money can go.
Yeah, so it's more like you have to go online portal. Your online portal, there, your landlord, because there obviously any communication between DWP and yourself, it will be on your portal, isn't it? So you, on portal, your landlord has to request it, saying, okay, well, I would like the rent to be paid to me instead of you paying it directly to the tenant.
But can we ask for that as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because there are three parties involved. Landlord has to agree, obviously, and you have to confirm.
That can work for council houses as well?
Definitely. I've done it numerous times. It's not very difficult. It's just that the landlord has to request it. And especially with vulnerable clients, yes, you do. Of course you do. Go ahead.
Can you explain what you mean by splitting the payments if you're part of a couple?
Sorry?
Can you explain what you mean by splitting the payments if you're part of a couple?
Oh.
At the bottom.
Okay. Yeah. So that is It's
Instructing.
yeah. So yeah. So well, So in a sense of, I suppose, we're talking about, it's dependent on your circumstances, really. So there is no one, you could request it, but the focus of it all is really about looking at paying the rent itself. So if you want, don't forget, it's not for all the time, it's only for sometimes, depending upon what your scenario is and your situation is, but it's up to DWP to accept it. Does that make sense?
Not entirely enough. So I'm concerned about people who, if maybe the husband starts trying to control more of the money, that could leave the wife more vulnerable.
Actually, best will be to ignore that.
Okay.
Yeah, ignore that. I'm trying to make it simple. It's better. Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, ignore that. It's just to make it simpler for you for now. You have a lot of information to take in. So yeah, just focus on the basics for now. And you have budgeting loan as well. Again, it works the same way, in a sense of you apply, but this one is really for you. If your kitchen breaks down, your sink breaks down, your boiler breaks down, although it won't be covered with boiler. But it's a tiny amount, but budgeting loan. It exists now, it existed years back, and it will carry on existing. So that's that, but it really is kind of being creative with whatever there is whilst you're on universal credit. The other one is council tax discount, where local authorities may see your circumstance and say, okay, based on your financial position, you can apply under Section 31A, Local Government Finance Act, to write off council tax because of your destitution, because of your financial situation, or give you extra discount. I've made numerous claims and I have been successful, but they look at vulnerability and look at economic poverty as well. And the other thing is, local authority has a pot of funds for discretionary payment. This is where, if you're in rent arrears, it's really set up because of bedroom tax. Does anyone know what bedroom tax is?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you've got an extra room.
Yes, or two. Yeah. I mean, Hackney is quite common to have one or two, even three. I've come across a few. So because there's shortfall, you apply for discretionary housing payment to pay for bedroom tax. As time goes on, not many people are successful because the whole purpose of setting up discretionary housing payment is temporarily, but it can never be ongoing. So local authorities are becoming quite strict, but they themselves have realized that there is a problem. There may be a deficit due to universal credit, so we are opening ourselves up for people who may be in rent arrears and rent arrears due to not to their fault. And the sad one is, final one, I'm afraid, let's not forget, you have to go to food bank if things get tough, and there's no way out. So the way you get referred to food banks is through advice services, charities, agencies, DWP. When you go to the job centre, you can say, look, there's no food at home. They have ways to give you vouchers to gain access to food, and you'll get access to 3 days food through food bank. So that's primarily in the context of universal credit. Go ahead.
I just want to say that the Carer Centre is part of the network of food banks, so we can give you vouchers. I don't know if everybody knows that.
Sure. So there we are. So you need to approach Carer Centre, and I suppose do you assess before you give vouchers?
Yeah, they have to be known to us, so we have to understand your situation.
Mm-hmm. So and then you do you fill a referral form to submit it, or
Yes.
So there we are. So then you'll be allocated to go to relevant nearest food bank in terms of where you live, and then gets food enough for 3 days. So yes. Now, from my point of view as a debt specialist, there are other things that worry me, especially when you're getting into financial destitution, and I've noticed that. And as time goes on, it will get really, really bad. And things that you need to bear in mind is there any way you can save anything to prepare yourself? And the other thing is, of course, is I find a lot of people may have other debts too. So yes, there are rent arrears, there are loans, credit cards. So if you're paying your loans and credit cards, how those things fit in with your rent. So it's about prioritizing your money so it goes to the right pot. Instead of just paying your credit cards. And yes, ma'am.
How are you going to prioritize if you are a carer? You know, it's
Save money.
I agree. It's sometimes we just have to. I agree with you. I agree.
Because, you know, I hate that word food banks. I don't like it. It's helpful.
Yeah.
But why do we have to get into this point?
You're right. It is a new phenomenon.
Priority is to keep the house warm.
Yes.
And electricity and good food
Yes.
and things like that. Food is expensive. Gas
Yes.
is expensive.
Yes.
Electricity is expensive.
Yes.
So if we don't put gas to save for the rent
Absolutely.
in March, everybody. What about our health? What about the people, the person that we care for?
Depressed, so you become mental health. That's what happens at the end.
And then we have to go to the care center to give vouchers.
That's what happens. That's what this government wants to do. Doesn't do caring. Doesn't care about people. After all the carers are saving thousands once again for this government that's been voted in, and people are just youngsters getting depressed, mental health.
Definitely.
Where is this money going? Where did they put this money? This is priority. People are dying. Humans dying.
Yes, ma'am.
It just makes me angry.
You know, most of us here are on minimum income because we're carers.
Mm-hmm.
So if the government is saying to us now, out of the minimum income we've got, which is something like maybe £10 a day to live on, we've got to start saving out of that.
Well, it's the government. I'm not here to be political, although I'm very sympathetic.
Is that for us or is for that? This presentation, was it for us?
Yes, for
Or
It's-
people or for rich people?
This is
Well, the rich people
for you.
are entitled, the rich people are still entitled for some benefits, and they've got billions, and they're still getting
All right.
the same entitled.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I think it's choose which one you
Yeah.
like to manage, really.
And the other thing
And
is,
it's probably
yeah.
things like prioritising debts.
yeah, I mean, believe it or not,
If you don't pay your water rate, you've got £50 a month now and go
yeah,
down.
and I agree. It's a tough world. It's a tough world.
What do we not pay?
Yeah, it's a tough world.
But to be honest, as long as you pay something, you tend not to get cut off. That is,
Mm.
that is general, particularly as a carer. They're
It
very
is
likely to
tough.
cut you off.
Does
As long as you
that
give them something.
light, gas, water?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Food is high. Yeah, expensive. It's getting everything, definitely. And then we have Turn to Us. Now, has anyone heard of Turn to Us?
No,
Yeah? Well, it's a great source for a number of reasons. Firstly, if you want to know how much you should be entitled to based on your personal circumstance and you're not claiming what you're entitled to, Turn to Us can calculate your circumstance to see whether you're entitled to, an increase in your personal allowance, entitled to more housing element, or whatever. Yeah? So it's a good way to kind of find out what you should be getting and what not based on your personal circumstance. And of course, because I'm a debt specialist, I recognize that sometimes problems caused by authorities, sometimes problem might be by the fact that you have other debts too. So it's one of those things. Yeah, so it's all about looking at things. And finally, I'm afraid, universal credit, the way it seems now, like this alien, is here to stay. Unless we do something about it. There we are.
Unless we what?
Unless you can think of something better as an out. So, any other questions for me? Ask me questions.
I'm just very stressed right now.
You know, you had a priority and non-priority.
Yes.
What is priority and debt and what is non-priority debt?
Very good questions. My job involves working in the context of debt, and first thing I look at is priority debt. It's looking at when you don't pay your debt, a specific type, i.e. rent arrears, council tax arrears, gas bills, what happens to you? So for example, non-payment of rent leads to eviction, so homelessness. So you prioritize that. Non-payment of electricity leads to disconnection of your fuel supply. So you prioritize that. Non-payment of council tax or court fine leads to imprisonment. So you prioritize those things over loans and your credit card. So that's what I mean by priority. So what I do on a day-to-day basis is look at all types of debt and then say, I know you've got limited amount of income, i.e. carer's allowance, thrown in carer's premium, and whatever not, or income support. You look at your income, and then look at your expenses, i.e. payment for food, travel, and all other expenses, gas, electricity. And if you have any spare cash left, what can you do? So first thing is to do is deal with your priority debts, rent, council tax, and fuel debts. If there is any more money, we'll look at non-priority debts. Those debts are loans, credit card, and so many other things that I can go on all day. So let's leave it there for now. Any more? Are you all clear about, when it comes to basics, right now, in an hour, you just need to know the basics. Don't worry too much about detail because it's too early. It's one of those things that you'll pick things up whilst you practice. Go ahead. What do they have what? What do you mean? Oh, universal credit?
Yeah, if you go onto YouTube, there's quite a few
Yeah.
little animations and there's some explanations that are made. Also, if you go
Yeah.
onto government.org
Yes.
and have a look on universal credit, I think there might be you could get an explanation. You need to be online, that's the only thing really.
Yeah. Yeah. For now, it's getting the basics. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, so now that you've given us all this bad news,
Yeah, should we have a big sing-song now?
I think it's time. No, definitely. Please
Is that the
do.
universal credit song?
Yeah, I can't. If you can think of any, please forward that song to me.
Thanks very much, Rickon. Hey everyone, oh, we've got more questions. Hello. Do we have any hands? There aren't of this, no, but we can we circulate the slides?
I forwarded this to Lisa.
To Lisa.
Yeah.
We can circulate the slides if people would like. Could you let me know or Najma know if you'd like the slides from this presentation?
So we might have to make a little thing in our quarterly newsletter that goes out to thousands of people, having an Ask Rickon
Please do.
feature, which would be really handy.
Can I say thank you very much to Rickon for doing this workshop for us. He's come here. It's a first contact with the Carer Centre, and doing it for free.
Absolutely.
And he's not part of the government
No.
or local authority. He's an independent advisor who's
Yes.
given up his time to come here and talk to you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.